Let me bang.
I do let you bang. Hey,
let me bang you, James, man.
I let you bang. I let you bang.
Greetings, marriage and virgins.
Go for Jesus. No forget Jesus, people.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time once again for your favorite mixed martial arts podcast. Recording out of Los Angeles, California, it's MMA Roasted with Adam Hunter.
Who the fuck is that guy? Who the fuck is that?
What's up, people? Welcome to a brand new MMA Roasted Podcast. It's me, Adam Hunter. I'm here. We got Bill Dawes is with us. Just came back from jiu-jitsu. I'm in a good mood. The Gutfeld Monday, it went great. I was on with Vivek Ramaswamy, who's couldn't have been nicer. The people there are really, really nice, along with Emily and Kat. Don Fry is with us. Don, I can't see you, and I can't hear you. I'm going to ask to unmute you. Even when I can see you, I usually can't hear you, but
yeah.
There we go.
Because you're always muting me.
No, I don't mean to mute you. I only mute you when you're when you're doing something else, like you're taking a shit or you're talking to
or your dog is out there.
Your dog.
Yeah, exactly.
How are you, Don?
I'm okay, partner. How you all doing?
Good.
Don, I got to ask you. You did a movie with my baby mama, Jennifer Shakespeare. The movie was with Sean Stone, Oliver Stone's son. It was called Fury of Fists or something.
Fist of Fury, yeah, Fist of Fury or Fury, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Do you remember Jenny? She played your girlfriend. Or
I didn't know. I didn't know I had a girlfriend.
All right. Wait. It was his girlfriend in the movie, and Don didn't know that it was. Did you do a scene with her? They in scenes together?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, were they good love scenes or what?
Nah, she needs to get laid, so that would be good.
Yeah, she'd be throwing rocks at you if she had love scene with me.
I love that though. She's like, "Oh my god, I love Don. He's so funny. He was so great. He's a really good actor, an amazing guy." And you're like, "Who? Jenny? Who?"
Yeah, my back was so messed up at that time. I was on so many painkillers. I mean, my back was miserable. Miserable.
How many painkillers were you on?
I don't know, partner, but that's we probably did that. Did we do that in 14 or 15?
I think it was 15.
Yeah, because in 16 is when they had to repair it. They went in there and repaired it because I had broken somewhere around 13 or 14. I had broken both the rods in a car wreck in my truck. My truck blew a tire, went off, pitched me into the median, about 80 miles an hour. And so broke both the rods, and I didn't know it. So that's how dumb I am. I walked around for 2.5 years with 2 broken rods in my back, and I just a miserable prick. So yeah, it was miserable. And then September 26th, July 2016, I finally got an X-ray, and the doctor said, "Well, there's a problem there, dumbass. You broke both the rods."
Jesus.
Oh, so then, God.
At the end of September, they went in there, did the surgery, and then 4 days later, I guess I'm sitting up talking, so I got a headache. So I had a hemorrhagic stroke, and then they put me in a coma for 3 weeks, and so it's kind of, but I worked right up till I couldn't,
Yeah.
So did you film the movie while you were in a coma? Is that when you filmed your scenes?
Yeah, that's my best acting.
Now, when you got in the car accident, did you fall asleep? Were you drunk? Was it what happened?
No, tire blew out. I was going down I-10, tire blew out, hit the guardrail 3 times, and pitched me into the median.
Oh, God. Did they have to helicopter you out, or were you unconscious, or did you just get up?
I thought I walked away, but I guess I woke up, and I didn't know how long I was out. And I asked because I tried to get out, and the door was jammed up. So then I crawled up the passenger side door, and so I'm facing backwards when I'm, crawling out, and I see that there's already a California highway patrolman with his lights on parked, and that son of a bitch shot my tire out.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I said, how'd you get here so fast? And he says, shit, I thought you were a goner. He said, I saw the whole thing. I was getting ready to call the helicopter in or a hearse.
Wow. Well, anyway, Jenny says hi.
Hi, Jenny. Hi, Jenny. I miss you, Jenny.
So meanwhile, last week I took my daughter. I had to go to wrestling practice. I took my kid to wrestling practice, and then on the way home, I had to go do Fraser Smith's podcast, which is all the way the other way. So it was an hour to wrestling, hour to the podcast. I got my kid, and I'm like, "Hey, can you have someone watch my kid while I'm doing Fraser's podcast?" Right? Yeah, no problem. I go downstairs. My daughter's on stage at the Laugh Factory, right? It was like it wasn't open, and then she's going. So she's like, "My daddy doesn't know anything." Like she's doing like jokes about me.
Or better than the racial jokes she usually tells.
Yeah, like the five, and she's killing in front of the waitstaff. She's like, my daddy doesn't know one thing. Like, you know how like I'm doing jokes about my family? She's doing it about me to the waitstaff. I was like, what the fuck?
Get that kid off stage. Get that kid off stage.
By the way, did you guys watch?
My daddy and I like to play glass bottom boats. Get off.
God.
Cut the mic.
It was so funny. So Don, did you go to Toronto or no?
No, I didn't. I don't know what happened. They didn't get my ticket, or I didn't okay the ticket that they sent, or I don't know. It just everything just fell apart. So
did you watch the fights?
No, I did not. I was going to do that yesterday, but I got busy doing something else. So
Bill, did you watch the fights?
I did.
Okay, all right. Here's my opinion, then I'll get Bill's, and then I'll get Don's opinion, even though he didn't watch it. So I think that it was the correct decision. I think DDP won. He won almost every round, if not every round, like except for the fifth round. But it was one of those things where Sean Strickland's great, but he has one way of fighting, which is just go forward, throw punches, go forward, and hopefully the guy either gets tired from hitting you or you outlast him. But I don't understand why Sean, I think he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I think he's a high-level wrestler, but has no plan B. And I mean, look, it's worked for him so far. He's the champion, so you can't say it.
right.
Yeah.
But what's the point of knowing all this other stuff if you're never going to use it? Bill, your thoughts?
Well, I mean, so Don was going to say something. What are you going to say,
Don?
I'm guilty of the same thing. You know, I mean, I had various disciplines, and I usually just threw fists too. So I really can't throw stones at him.
No, Don, you were a high-level D1 wrestler. Almost made the Olympic team. You were a black belt.
No.
You were a black belt in judo.
Yeah.
You just didn't want to. You just didn't want to do it.
Yeah, I was a Godon in judo, you know, and so I don't know. I just never got to, you know. When I came back into the pride from pro wrestling, my back was too fucked up to really do any throws at that point. So,
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Bill, thoughts?
Well, I mean, doesn't Strickland like mock jiu-jitsu all the time? Is he really a black belt in it?
I think
I feel like Strickland's always like, jiu-jitsu doesn't work.
Everyone who has rolled with him says he's really, really good. He's definitely. I think he just cares. Either he cares too much about what people think, or he cares nothing, because he's just like, I want to put on an exciting fight for you, the fans. For you, the fans, which is great. That's great, dude. But you also want to win, don't you?
The fight was decided by like what? DDP got like what, 5 takedowns in the fight?
Yeah. He couldn't hold him down.
Difference right there.
That was a difference. But he also
count.
Sean didn't throw any kicks either. It was like he didn't. DDP was throwing kicks. Sean Strickland was just like, I'm just going to throw punches. But why not just do boxing if that's what you want to do? It was entertaining. It wasn't. People were saying this is the way. I think the fight before that was so boring that this looked so much better in comparison. Because to me it wasn't that exciting of a fight. I mean, but people were acting like it was, you know, Chandler versus Gaethje or Poirier. I'm like, am I missing something? Because I didn't think it was that exciting. It wasn't. It wasn't boring by any means. But if it wasn't Sean Strickland in there, who gets everyone nuts and crazy, and people, I don't think people would have been that invested in it because a lot of people Strickland to win. That being said, the fight before that, which was sort of titled on, it was Raquel Pennington versus Buena Silva. Might have been the most boring fight of all time, but
really,
yeah. But given the circumstances, Raquel did what she had to do to win because she knew
which is nothing.
You also get in close, clinch, takedown, and try to do damage in the clinch. It was like an old Randy Couture tactic. Now that it's summer, you might be looking for wholesome, convenient meals for sunny, active days. I know I am, okay? And Factor, which is America's #1 ready-to-eat meal kit. Not number 2, #1. It can help you fuel up fast with flavorful and nutritious ready-to-eat meals delivered right to your door. You'll save time, you'll eat well, and you'll stay on track reaching your goals, okay? Are you too busy with summer plans to cook? I am. It takes me forever to cook, and I ruin the meals. But I want to make sure that I'm eating well, and so should you. Well, with Factor, skip the trip to the grocery store and skip the chopping and the prepping and the cleaning, okay? While still getting the flavor and the nutritional quality you need. The Factor is fresh, never frozen. Ew. Their meals are ready in just 2 minutes. That's right, 2 minutes. Although when I do stuff in 2 minutes, my wife complains, okay? But not with Factor. All you got to do is heat and enjoy, and then get back outside and soak up this warm weather. Vitamin D, all right? Looking for calorie-conscious options this summer? You can try the delicious, dietitian-approved, calorie-smart meals with around or less than 550 calories per serving. That's nothing. You burn that off, I don't know, jogging, all right? You need an extra boost to support your wellness goals this summer? I do. We'll try the Protein Plus meals with 30 grams of protein. Hell yeah. Get rough. Look at these guns, people, all right? So check it out. Check out Factor. Head to factormeals.com/roasted50 and use code roasted50 and get 50% off your first box. That's half off your first box. That's code roasted50 at factormeals.com/roasted50 to get 50% off your first box. All right. Check it out. You're going to thank me later. I got this cute dog. She's teething right now. But she's adorable. All right. No more biting. You got to get some chew toys. So thank you guys so much. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and check out Factor right now. Except it wasn't Randy Couture. It was, but she did what she had to do to win. So I mean,
why did you think the fight was so boring?
They got booed out of the fucking stadium. I mean, they were booing like crazy. Why do I think it was boring? I think there was a lot of things. I think Toronto has not had action, had UFC in like 3 years. People were mad about that. People were also mad at Justin Trudeau. I mean, during the fights, Don, people were yelling, "Fuck Trudeau." Like, fuck. I mean, and I think Canadians are used to hockey, and they like hockey's an exciting sport with a billion fights. In Canada, they just want to see action. And they had 5 guys from Canada fight, and they all lost. So they were
7. I thought they were 0 for 7.
They were 0 for 7. I think they had 2 girls win. So it was just a lot going into, and people were booing. They almost got booed out of the arena. But look, the girl, it was one of those things where I think Raquel realized if I stand and trade with her, I'm going to lose. My only shot of winning is to clinch up and go for the takedown. And that's what you're down to do. I mean, Don, you're coaching somebody, right? Would you rather them get booed out of the arena and win or lose an exciting fight?
It depends on who you're fighting for, because Pride in Japan used to tell us, we don't care if you win or lose, as long as you give us a good fight, you'll be back. Whereas in the UFC, Dana said, you lose 3 fights, you're gone. So
yeah.
But Dana hasn't stayed true to that. There are people who are exciting fighters who've lost 3 in a row and stayed in at this point.
I mean, there was some guys who lost, Tony Ferguson's lost 8 in a row. I think that, Dana, I think the thing with Dana is if you do him favors, if you step in on short notice, if you fight the guy who wants to fight,
you should be, yeah.
I think Dana looks at you like, okay, we'll give you a break as long as if he had a type of thing. like a guy like Sam Alvey who like stepped in and lost 5 in a row, but they were all probably short notice fights. So he's like, all right, you know, a lot of it is who your manager is, who your agent is.
That's good business. That's good business sense on Dana's part too, though. You know, if he can get somebody to come in, you know, on short notice and fill the card, then you know that's great business sense. Keeps it going.
So something crazy happened. So during Strickland's fight, right? I tweeted out, Sean Strickland announced that this guy will walk up to the octagon, right? It's the shaman, right? So that guy who crashed the Capitol building that was wearing all kinds of fur, that guy?
Yeah.
Right.
That guy retweets, if Sean Strickland wants to honor me with such an opportunity, I would consider it a privilege and a duty. Like he thought I was being serious. Like
That's hilarious.
The actual guy.
Is that guy in prison?
Well, number one, I guess not, because he's on Twitter, and it really is him. There's a guy named Malcolm Flex, who's this huge black guy that like is a huge like Trump guy, right-wing guy. So he tweeted out, "Hey, they want you," and this guy thought I was being serious. First of all, the fight was like starting when it was going on, but obviously this guy is pretty gullible, and I'm pretty sure that's what got him out of prison. Because
look how he dresses.
They're probably like,
hey, no fashion statement, you
know. I mean, they're probably like, listen, this guy, if you tell him to run into the street, he'll run into the street. Like, he's not exactly like, we can't keep him here. This is not. But isn't it was kind of funny that this guy actually, you know, retweeted it.
That's great. That's great. You should keep it going, Adam. Did Sean respond? Was Sean able to see that?
No, I don't know. Sean Strickland said he didn't want to run for he said he did want to run for office one day, but I think he's made enough crazy comments where I'm not sure. But I don't know, man. He also had a lot of people. People are going crazy for him. People like a guy who doesn't give a
great.
Yeah,
he's great. He sells tickets. You know, he speaks his mind. He speaks his mind, and nobody does that nowadays. You know, people are hungry for something like that. You know, the only one who does that is President Trump, and they love him for that.
100%. People do love someone that speaks their mind. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
I think people are now seeing that. I mean, I think like Trump set the precedent. So now everyone goes like, oh, no matter what you say, no matter how crazy it is, even if it's really incendiary, you're going to find a fan base of people who want you.
Right.
They're going to be behind you.
Yeah, I know. It used to be crazy. Like it used to be the opposite way. I think it went so far the other way where everything you say, people will take out of context and then get you fired. And now it's like, okay, you say so many things that they can't even pick what you're saying. Like, I mean, Sean Strickland quotes, Colby Covington quotes, you will be able to find like which one. I mean, it's you become almost uncancelable, you know?
Yeah.
Well, who's the gal that was in The Mandalorian? You know, the fighter.
Gina Carano.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, they got rid of her because she said just a couple of things, you know, and people shit on that, you know, because they're pissed.
Well, they asked Dana White about it, right? So here's Dana's response to people getting
into territory.
Oh, this is great.
You'll obviously give a long leash to your fighters about, you know, what they can say when they are up there with the UFC microphone and you are getting into territory of homophobia, transphobia. Like, is there...
I don't give anybody a leash.
Well, I'm saying you...
A leash?
I'm like...
Free speech. You control what people say? Gonna tell people what to believe? Gonna tell people... I don't fucking tell any other human being what to say, what to think, and there's no leashes on any of them. What is your question?
Dun, 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 dun,
Bitch slapped that guy down. He just bitch slapped that guy hard.
Yeah, that was it. I mean,
I've never seen a reporter get shut down like that.
I hope Dana stays. I mean, because imagine if like Dana goes, there's gonna be no one like him. There's gonna be nobody. I mean, imagine it becomes corporate. Forget about it. Like it'll
die. The sport will die without Dana. It'll die because you know, he, like you said, he speaks real and he's entertaining and, you know, people love him. They just love him.
Yeah.
Don, if Dana gave you
replace
the
it.
UFC, if Dana wanted
Yeah.
you to be the spokesperson for UFC, would you do it? Would you take his
Hey,
role?
you bet your sweet ass I would.
Every fight would be the best fight you've ever seen. That would be amazing. So normally, Don, we talk about guys with their, guys who get the shit beaten out of them for 3 rounds and hoping the other guy gasses. It almost never works. Well, it worked. Neil Magny got the shit beaten out of him.
Holy shit! I couldn't believe that.
For three rounds, and with 1 minute left. I mean, it might have been almost 10-8. 10-8. I mean, maybe it was probably 10-9, but it was one-sided. 1 minute left. He turns the corner, just basically reverses the guy from top. Like he's on bottom and he just sort of just sweeps him kind of, and then starts pounding the guy and stops him with 20 seconds left.
Couldn't believe it. From Mount.
Really?
Yeah.
The guy couldn't escape Neil Magny. And the guy is like a black belt in jiu-jitsu too. He couldn't get out of his mount. I didn't realize Neil's mount was that strong. His base was that good.
He's got really good wrestling, and I also think the other guy was tired. I think when you're fighting in front of, I think the guy was from Toronto or Canada, fighting in
he's
front of
Canadian.
Canadians. And how much, Don, did it ever have, was it more pressure for you fighting in front of a home crowd than it was fighting away?
No, I enjoyed both of them, man. I enjoyed both. You know, I mean, people either love you or they boo you. You know, I know that when I fought, a couple of Japanese fighters over there in Pride, they cheered for them, and I was like, hurt my feelings. I was like, hey, what's the deal here, man? I'm Don Fry. Well, you don't cheering them, booing me.
By the way, I think we're joined by Parker Porter, who just got cut from the UFC. He's a heavyweight in the UFC. He fought John Jones' fourth fight, or he fought him back in the day. And people love him. He's kind of like the people's champion. He's this big, heavy guy, heavyweight, badass, and a good fighter, really good fighter, old school fighter like you, Don. He just got knocked out his last couple fights, so I think he'll be joining us. So the UFC, they finally signed Kayla Harrison. If you don't know Kayla Harrison, she's a 2-time gold medalist in judo. She won the PFL, I think 3 times. She got $1 million each time. She has 1 loss on her record to the current PFL champion. She lost a decision that it was like 3 rounds to 2, maybe 4-1, but it was pretty close. I think it was 3-2. Kayla, she was molested by her judo coach, who's like still in jail. Her sister was on something happened with her sister where she got custody of her sister's kids. So she's got 2 kids now. Beautiful person. Has been through the ringer. The UFC finally signed her. She's fighting Holly Holm at UFC 300, which I think is it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a really good fight. Holly obviously has the advantage of striking, but Kayla's. I think they're fighting at 135 though, and the girl she's a bigger girl. She's muscular as fuck.
I thought she's like a fucking 150 pounder or something like that, wasn't she?
Yeah, 145 she fought at. But it's gonna be good. I'm very excited for her. But now
I hope she makes weight. That'd be a great fight. That's they ought to give her 5 fucking pounds. It's a little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit too much to ask.
Now I hate to be hung up on this stuff. When she was a child when her judo coach molested her.
I think it was like
molested is like a child term.
Yeah, she was taken advantage of. It was like I think she was a teenager, I believe, and it was like it did it to a bunch of girls. And then she goes around giving speeches now to girls that are people that.
I was gonna say she does motivational.
Yeah, she's a really really cool girl. So I'm happy for her. I'm happy she made it to the UFC. Big loss for the PFL and Bellator because they were trying to make it her versus Cyborg. And Cyborg looks like a straight killer. But
how old is Cyborg now? Because I remember I was like 23 watching Cyborg fight.
I don't know how old she is. I think she's like 36, 37.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, I think she just that girl is, dude. When we made that video for her for the MMA awards, she was those like Mr. Blue, those like blue grappling dummies. They're pretty heavy. They're pretty heavy. She was just throwing them across the wrestler.
She's a hell of an athlete, man. She's a hell of an athlete. But so is Harrison.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. Yeah, right. Bellator now, PFL owns Bellator, and they're doing PFL versus Bellator. So, but they're putting it on pay-per-view. I don't know anyone that's going to buy this. Like, why not make it free? Like, why are we doing the first one? Man,
yeah. Bellator just has a success for failure,
But the PFL has all this money. I don't know where they're getting money from. They're just printing money and just throwing it away. Because you look at like who they're hiring. They have like they're giving $1 million signing bonuses to this one and to that one and to $1 million if you win it. And then you look at their stand and they have Wiz Khalifa there and all these football players and they're signing all these people and they're giving all these people deals and you're like, where? But no one's buying any. But they can't sell 25 tickets.
Who is the parent company? Do you know who owns PFL?
Probably Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
I think that, and I know they had some like Kevin Hart and what's his name bought into it. The guy who owns the Mavericks. I'm talking about
Mark Cuban.
Mark Cuban, and then the guy who started. I know they had a bunch of investors, and they're going around and they're like, look at this is where the UFC was, and this is what it's worth now, and they. But I don't know.
Yeah, they need a good colored commentator like me.
They 100% do. Parker Porter, how's the PFL making money?
I have no idea, man. I hear what Don's saying. Allegedly they got all the Saudi Arabian money being dumped into it and backing it up. So they got some silent investors, if you will.
And now, how are you doing, by the way?
I'm good, man. Life is peachy.
So you're living in Connecticut still?
Yeah. I'm right in central Connecticut in West Hartford.
Dun, 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 dun. It's not a bird. It's not a plane. It's a ball trimmer sent from space. Gentlemen, our friends over at MANSCAPED have been working night and day to bring you a below-the-waist grooming experience like none other with their brand new Performance Package 5.0 Ultra featuring the Lawnmower 5.0. We're talking about a next-generation trimmer with interchangeable blade heads for whatever shave your mind can imagine. That's right. Upgrade your grooming game to the Ultra Sphere this year by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with code MMA Roasted. High tech for low places. Manscaped. I'm telling you, people, I use Manscaped all the time. My balls feel amazing. Amazing. Okay. If you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend and they put their balls, you put your balls in their mouth, okay, or they put their balls in your mouth, whatever it is, okay, you want your balls, you want them shaved, you want them feeling good. It's a whole new experience, okay? AI is cool, but I think this might be the biggest technological advancement the world has seen in the past decade. Every man knows how scary it is when going for a close shave. Oh my God, I've cut myself. It's horrible. And then the whole day you're like, just not feeling good. It's just shaving, like your balls are just, you're wearing boxers and it's just going against you. And you're like, not good. Okay. Their 5th generation trimmer features 2 interchangeable next-gen skin-safe blade heads, a standard one for taking a little off the top, and a new foil blade for go smooth whenever your heart desires. Okay, I'm telling you. They also have the Weed Whacker 2.0, which features skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate holes. Very delicate. Okay, so get 20% off plus free shipping with the code MMA Roasted at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code with the code MMA Roasted at manscaped.com. I promise you, you've never seen a ball trimmer look like a spaceship. Get yours today with our folks at Manscaped. You're going to thank me when you have nice, shaved balls that feel really good. Check it out, Manscaped. So I was reading about you. I was doing some research about you, and you didn't start fighting until you were what, 21?
21, yeah. I made my debut.
What did you do before that?
Football.
Okay, see, but football.
Adam's been calling you Porker.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be the first one.
Yeah, I did not. So you started like jujitsu when you were 21, or karate, or
No,
boxing?
I got right into doing MMA. I graduated from high school. Lost a bunch of weight. I wasn't having to be a big fat football defensive lineman anymore. So I actually learned a little bit of nutrition and how to actually eat properly to fuel my body instead of just being a big fat strong fast guy. And then I got into training MMA. No intentions of ever actually competing. And my coach was like, "Hey, you're kind of good at this. You want to give it a shot?" And that was the end of that. I signed up for my first fight. They didn't even do amateur stuff where I was, in the area at the time. So my very first fight was a pro fight at Club Lido in Revere, Massachusetts.
Wow.
And,
Now they put you up against John Jones
that was it.
Fight, right?
In my third pro fight, yeah.
Now, what
Was
kind
it
of
with
management?
UFC?
No, UFC.
No, this was in
backyard or something.
Yeah, this
With
was
John
in
Jones?
WCF. It was at it was at the Aleppo Shriners Stadium in Wilmington, Massachusetts.
Did you have any idea who John Jones was?
No, he was just another guy on the local scene at the time.
So no one told you, hey, this guy's a state champion, national champion wrestler. He might not. We have no experience here. Nobody.
Nothing. Zero. I was 2-0 as a pro, and I'm like, yeah, fuck it, let's go, let's run it. And we didn't have all the information that you have these days. Tapology wasn't a thing. SureDog was like the most information you could find on anybody, and even that was kind of sketchy. You didn't have all the constant YouTube videos and highlights and databases that are available to these guys now. This was 2008, 9.
Fucking hey, boy, you should see 96. There's nothing in 96.
I can imagine. That's what I mean. Dude, Google was brand new in 96. You couldn't even Google people in 96.
Yeah.
And so you're probably much bigger than John Jones too, right? So when you saw him, you probably weren't like, oh, this guy's going to be really tough.
No, he was skinny. He was so skinny, Parker, right? You had
Oh, yeah, he was. I mean, at the time, you're talking like he's obviously put on a significant amount of size since then. But, at the time, I think he was cutting maybe like 5 pounds tops to make 205. He was bones. That's where he got his nickname. He looked like a bag of bones. So presence wise, he didn't really have a super intimidating presence. You kind of look at a guy and you're just like, I could take that guy. And he was crazy fast. He had really good wrestling. He came out in the first round. He hit this switch lead kick to the head that I blocked. And right as I blocked it, he stepped right into a shot off of it, took me down. I basically clung on for dear life. And then he kind of let me up. And we were fighting in a ring instead of a cage. And as I stood up, I got tangled up in the ropes, swung around, and he timed his signature right across my face.
But it looked like you were throwing a punch too. It looked like you were also throwing a punch. It looked like you were.
Yeah.
So he just got there first, but you never know.
He did.
If yours would have got there first, you could have been the first guy to beat John Jones.
Possibly, but
But
hindsight's 20/20.
It's okay. You got a lot of wins. You got 14 wins. And you've beaten a lot of guys. You beat, Chase Sherman. I'm looking at the guys you beat. You beat Josh Parisian. You fought. The guys you lost to Almeida, who is looking like he might be the champion pretty soon.
Yeah, he's been in the top. He's been a ranked guy for, I'd think, 1 or 2 fights after me is when he hit the rankings, and he hasn't left.
And you lost to 2 guys named Tafa. You got to stop fighting guys named Tafa.
Seriously, it's just not good for the career.
Yeah, anyone named Tafa, don't fight. You beat Braxton Smith. That was a pretty awesome fight.
That was a good one. That was pretty much as close to my backyard as I'll get with that.
Yeah, that was awesome. You got a lot of good fights. Now you got cut from the UFC after 1 loss. That's bullshit.
Yeah, it is. I agree, but what am I going to do about it? Who am I?
Do they give you a reason? Do they give you a detailed explanation of why? Or
I'll be full disclosure. I said no to a fight for the first time in my life. They wanted me to match up with this new guy. I don't know if you've heard him, Robelis de Spain. He's a new guy from Cuba that they signed, an Olympic Taekwondo medalist.
Oh, the guy who's
guy looks
7'4"?
like an absolute animal.
That guy's
the guy who's like 12 feet tall with a 1,000 foot reach. You know,
who's an Olympian. The guy's an Olympian.
And he's a gold medalist Olympian. He's not just like, oh, I'm an Olympian. Like, no, he won the Olympics in Taekwondo. And you know, like, do I think there's a way that I could beat him? Absolutely. There's always a formula to beat everybody. It's just a matter of who, you know, what you're going to get when you show up that day, who shows up and how things go. Anything can happen. But I didn't feel like it was an intelligent fight for me to take at this point in my career. So for the first time in my 16 years as a pro, I said no. And they didn't like that. So they said, you know, well, you're going to be 39 in April and you lost 3 out of your last 4. So we're going to have to let you go.
Don, what do you think?
I think it's kind of a bad luck for him, man. I'll tell you, because you know, kind of a horseshit deal, actually. You know, I mean, more than bad luck, it's just a horseshit deal.
I think so too, but at the same time, I don't have any regrets about my time in the UFC. I don't have any bad feelings towards it. You know, like that was my goal for 13, 14 years that I was chasing as a pro. And I got there and I had a great time. I thought they treated me really well while I was there. And you know, I got nothing
free
to moan about.
Are you free to fight for anybody now? You can fight for anybody now? Okay.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you also got there, dude, with no experience. You know, 21 years old, you walk into a gym. The probability of making the UFC when you walk into a gym at 21 is like less than 1%. You know?
Yeah. Well, especially nowadays when you got kids literally starting doing jiu-jitsu and wrestling from the age of like 5 or 6 years old with you know, a boxing background before they even hit college age.
Now it says that your
kids in their junior high with cauliflower ears, you know, broken noses.
Yeah, it's wild.
Now it says your grades were so bad that you couldn't play football in college. How bad were your grades?
I had to do another half a year of just my English class because I needed to get that credit back. Yeah. So because I ended up never even taking the SATs, and I was just like, you know what? College just isn't in the books for me.
Were you partying too much? Were you getting laid or?
To be perfectly honest with you, I didn't take my homework seriously. And as you get older in high school and shit, that's like 50% of your grade. So, you know, I was just being irresponsible.
Were your parents like disciplining you for that, or like you had lack of parents?
So my dad wasn't really around for almost all of my high school career. And my mom was just doing the absolute best she could do to raise 2 boys that were, you know, had a real chip on their shoulder and a problem with authority for no reason.
Yeah. Well, not for no reason, you know.
No. Well, I'm sure I had plenty of reasons, some better than others, but you know,
did your dad ever come back? Did your dad come back after you got in the UFC?
Yeah, no, I have a connection with my dad now. We had a period of time where, you know, my parents got divorced when I was younger, and you know, my dad moved to upstate New York, and we didn't have you know, the technology that we have now, so we couldn't really stay in touch as well. And I only got to see him a couple of times a year. Then we, you know, had an argument at one point, and we almost didn't speak to each other for, I would say, almost 10 years. And then I reached out to him afterwards at some point because I had honestly forgotten what we even argued about. So in my opinion, you know, to me, I was like, it can't be that big of a deal if I can't remember why we're not speaking to each other. And at the time I was going to be getting married and probably having kids, which ended up happening. So I was like, hey, you know, let's wipe the slate clean between you and I, and, you know, what is will be, and you can have a shot at being a better grandpa than a dad. And so far he's been doing a bang up job at that.
That's awesome.
Well, good for you for reaching out, man. That's a big man to do that, you know.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, Parker.
Yeah, what are you, 287?
287. I was 265 right now.
Nice.
That's a big man, yeah.
Yeah, he's a big boy. He's a big guy. Now, are you training every day? Or are you staying in tip-top shape?
Yeah, I'm staying in shape. I actually tweaked my knee at wrestling practice the other day. So I had opportunity to, Game Bread was interested for a matchup, and they wanted me for the March card that they have, March 12th, I think it is, or something like that, down in Orlando. But unfortunately, I had to say, keep me in mind for the next go around because I gotta kind of nurse this knee. I'm not going to be able to compete.
You got cut weight to make 265?
No, I have. That when I made my debut for the UFC, I had to cut 25 pounds in like 9 days.
See, that's why they got to come up with a super heavyweight. They really do. Because
I was just being fat and lazy because we're talking, it was 2020 when I got my debut call, and I was, all the gyms were closed because of the pandemic and everything, and I was basically sitting on the couch eating and drinking all my emotions because all my outlets and social life had just completely disappeared. And then they were like, "Hey, you guys want to do this?" I'm like, yeah, let's go." And my manager was like, "Hey, can you cut the weight?" I'm like, I don't have a fucking choice, man. You don't chase this dream for as long as I have and then say, "No, I'm not ready," when they call.
Right.
Well, good. So bare knuckle MMA. That's Yes. And now do you have to have a day, you have to have a day job still, or no? Are you good?
Yeah, I still got to have a day job. Unfortunately, I didn't make that much money when I was fighting in the UFC. Would have been nice, but one day guys will be able to fight for 3 years in the UFC and retire with a comfy position. But we're not there yet.
Is there relief when you're out of the UFC? Is there a certain amount of relief? Like, thank God I'm not in that fucking grind anymore.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny you say that because when I got the call, I was obviously disappointed that they were releasing me. But at the same time, there was just this really strange wave of relief that came over me. It's like I feel like this weight just completely lifted off my shoulders, and I can kind of go back to training because I like training, not always worrying about I got to tailor my training for this or for that, or really, I can pull back a little bit if I'm not feeling it, or I take a day off if I want and be a little more mindful and healthy in my social life and stuff like that. So there was a relief in that sense. But at the same time, a little bit of disappointment as well.
Of course. I think you're one fight away from getting back there. What do you do for your day job?
I own a gym in New Britain. And just working on building the membership base up there and getting that going. And then I also do a little bit of part-time construction. My uncle's got a general contracting company based out of Simsbury that I'll be picking up. I think he's talking about starting a job in February 1st.
Look at you, dude. You're a man's man. And then you're
I try.
You're married? Grand slams, no-hitters, and double plays are back. That's right. And there's no better place to get on the MLB action than FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook and official partner of Major League Baseball. And guess what, people? New customers in Massachusetts get in on the action with $200 in bonus bets, guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Just sign up at FanDuel.com/Boston. And finally, you can bet on all your favorite sports, from the money line to point spreads to player props and more. I love it, okay? If I'm going to bet, I'm going to go on FanDuel. So now, bet on an app that's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Don't miss your chance to get $200 in bonus bets. Win or lose. How great is that? Okay? Visit FanDuel.com/Boston and make every moment more. That's FanDuel, the official partner of Major League Baseball. You got to be 21 and older and present in Massachusetts. Okay, your first online real money wager only. $10 first deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable. And bonus bets that expire in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Help is here. So is hope. Hope and help. GamblingHelpLineMA.org. or call 1-800-327-5050 for 24/7 support. Play it smart from the start. GameSenseMA.com or call 1-800-GAM-1234. That's FanDuel. Check it out now. Right now. You want to bet? That's where you go.
Yeah. Once divorced and Remarried.
What's divorce, remarried, 2 kids, 1
Yep.
kid,
3.
3 kids.
3.
Wow.
Yeah, I got a set of 10-year-old twins that'll be 11 in June, and then my youngest is 3, and he'll be 4 in July.
Wow, nice. I mean,
Yeah.
they got to feel
So
pretty
you got a
cool.
daughter, right?
They got a little 5-year-old, and they got to be pretty cool
Yeah.
having like a dad in the UFC. I mean, that's
Yeah, you know, when I first got in there, obviously the baby was literally just born. He was 3 weeks old when I got the call, so he didn't really quite get it. But you know, about a year and a half ago, I got this really great video, and my wife and the kids are all watching me on TV, and they just, you know, there's Charlie, he's a little guy just standing there like, yay, dada, yay! He's got his arms up in the air, he's just going, yay! After I'd won a fight.
That's awesome.
You know, and the twins have really like started to get it a lot more. You know, at first they didn't really quite understand that, you know, the UFC is basically the NFL of fighting. So to them, it was, you know, it took a little while to set in for them to realize the gravity of, you know, the accomplishment that I had.
That's all. And are they going to be wrestling or jiu-jitsu, or you got them doing boxing? Or?
I got them doing a little bit of jiu-jitsu and some kickboxing right now. And they don't really have any interest in competing quite yet. They might, you know, but I'm not going to push them to compete. I told them, I said, I am going to push you to train though, because in my opinion, it's as essential of a life skill as knowing how to cook your own food and wash your own laundry.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. Well, listen, Parker, big fan of yours, man. Thanks for coming on the show, and have a good rest of the week.
Thank you, man. I'm going to head off to coach my team. We got a wrestling meet tonight, so that's why I got the shirt on. I'm ready to head out. Thank you, guys.
Oh, good luck, man. Good luck. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Nice guy.
Yeah.
It's a guy I would not want to fuck with that guy. That's a guy that you don't want to fuck with. Like those guys that are just so nice are the scariest dude. It's not the loudest guy in the room. It's that guy.
Yeah, but a little bit of crazy eyes. Just a little bit of crazy eyes. Like, I don't want to, you know, in a good way.
It's like he kind of reminds me of one of those like Russian strippers. Like take him home and like you don't know if to fuck you or kill you, but like it's still.
But it's hot either way.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
They eat your liver. They eat your liver while you're alive.
Yes. By the way, so I got to play this. It has nothing to do with MMA, but I thought it was funny. So they brought in this lady to give a speech to a college, right? Or maybe she just showed up. I don't think the college brought her up, but she's here to talk about abstinence at a college, right? Which is not. So you can imagine how well this went. Hold on.
Margarita, she will spread her legs. Margaritas, she will pounce right on your penis. If you 3 margaritas, she will grab your penis and put it in her mouth.
Where is she?
I can see why that woman's talking about abstinence. Yeah. Something she doesn't have to worry about. Doesn't have to work hard for.
And ram it right up her anus.
Holy shit.
Wait, 4? It was 4, right? Okay.
He will strap it on and
yeah.
Nice. Went too far. Went too far that one.
So the lesson is stop at 4 margaritas. That's
yeah.
Who thought this was a good idea? Like, I
mean, she probably just walked up, grabbed the microphone. She wasn't even scheduled to talk. Just some crazy homeless broad, you know?
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, like, how did she think that was going to go? And, you know, where can we hire her? Because I want to follow her around everywhere.
That'd be a good warm up act. Good warm up act for your show.
Yeah. I think that's the new Harvard president. No.
Yeah, well, she's not stealing anybody's material. It's all hers. Yeah.
Well, 100%. And then another thing I wanted to say is, you know who Sexy Red is? She's the one who sings.
Oh yeah, I've heard about her. She's got that one song.
Pound Town, just left Pound Town. Yeah. So I guess she had a baby shower. And at her baby shower, her husband, well, I'll show you what happened. So this is at her baby shower. She's getting her.
Jeez.
So here we go. So she's getting her ass eaten at a baby shower. Which I don't know. I mean, call me old fashioned, but I don't know.
What? So the color of his tongue determines what the gender of the baby is? Is that how it works?
Yeah, she has hemorrhoids. It's a boy, and if it's she didn't wipe, it's a girl. Don, has everyone went crazy? Is there any? Is it all? Is it all gone?
Yeah, I think we've all lost our fucking minds. You know, I mean, when your president walks around stage shaking hands with nobody, you know, then what else did have to? You know, where do you go from there? Sure.
He's thanking people that are dead, he says they're there. I mean, he's saying I like ice cream and chocolate. Yeah, it's over. Well, listen,
fucking pedophile.
All right, Bill, what do you got coming up?
God, what I got coming up? Just Wednesday, 8 p.m. Laugh Factory every Wednesday. That's it. And yeah, just looking for work, baby.
Don, what do you got coming up?
Oh, I don't think I have anything this week. I think I got the week off. You know, so it's pretty easy go.
I'll be at TK's in Dallas this week. Bill, if you want to come by, do a guest spot or whatever. It's a fun club. So TK's
Friday,
Saturday, Sunday. I'll be there Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But thank you guys so much. Take care. Love you guys.
Thank you.